not know hip-hop. There are people studying in universities, scholars, anthropologists, sociologists, criminologists, psychologists. Everybody study, hey, but some of them, well, not the hip-hopologists, but some sociologists have studied for long years culture and city planning and urban life. Know nothing about it. It is no longer acceptable to claim even citizenship of a nation and not know hip-hop. And look at this, look what I'm saying, I'm taking you right there. How can you actually say, I respect my country and the people in it, and not know hip-hop? And it's all over the country, all over everybody's urban area. Globally, on top of that. This is the third piece right here. This is the third piece right here. The third piece is, hip-hop makes you socially and culturally aware. You cannot know your culture without knowing other people's cultures. To only know your culture is not to know your culture at all. It's what is your culture against yet another one. Then you learn who you really are. Hip-hop is a place where all cultures seem to meet and seem to understand each other based on these simple cultural rules. Breaking, MCing, graffiti writing, DJing, beatboxing. People understand that. So how can you say today, 2012, 2010, I'm already in 2011, right? How could you say in 2010, in this age, in this time we're in, that I am aware of my surroundings in an urban environment, but I'm unaware of hip-hop? That's becoming an excuse now. And I send this out to all college professors everywhere. It is no longer acceptable to call yourself an intellectual or even a scholar of any education and not know what hip-hop is. When we was coming up in the 70s and 80s, it was acceptable. We were fighting our way in. You really didn't understand the difference between Run DMC and, say, Curtis Blow. No one really knew what breaking was. Okay, that was the 80s. MTV, a little VH1, a few award shows in the 90s. Yeah, but no, it's new millennium now. Hip-hop been all through the universities. All over television, all mass media, everywhere, even the Vatican has had hip-hop breaking there. How now can you call yourself an aware citizen of any country still ignorant of hip-hop? I challenge any professor on that one. Because this is what the importance of knowing hip-hop really is. It makes you aware. It makes you aware. And for those that's in business, those that are really serious about business in that sense, hip-hop makes you aware of your country's urban working class. Hip-hop lingers around the urban working class. It lingers around that. The strife and the pressures of the average person. That's where hip-hop lingers. If you understand hip-hop, you understand the average person. This is what takes 4 to 6 years of business economics in a school to figure out. When you could just gain an understanding. Now I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to steal 5 minutes. Matter of fact, wait a minute, what time is it? Good. Okay. Why is it important to know hip-hop? 1, it's a human skill. 2, it raises your self-worth. Master the elements, no matter who you are. Don't worry about what the last guy looked like, what the last female had on. You pick an element, master it. challenged on that level or asked, oh, do you know anybody that can rap? You could be in a boardroom meeting. You could be somewhere least expected. Man, we really need a B-girl right now. Do you really know of anybody? Maybe we should call the agency. You hop right up on the table. Bam! This is how opportunity is created, and hip-hop is bold like that. Bold like that. This is why it's important to know. This is the reason why. Look at what it does to your character. Now, that's internal. That's the essence. Why is it important to know hip-hop? It raises your self-worth. Human, skills, outlook on society and life, knowing people, knowing what's going on without talk, psychically knowing people. This is what hip-hop's real knowledge gives you. Now, with that knowledge, armed with that knowledge, now you've chosen your profession. I'm an MC. I'm going to master that, let's just say, as an example. Right away, what's the difference between an MC and a rapper? Everybody's rapping. Why do I want to be an MC? Armed with the knowledge. What is the knowledge? Knowledge of myself. All three of those could be just knowledge of myself. Awareness of myself. Governance of myself. Nothing stimulates me to move. I move me. I'm not connected by any technology. I don't need that. I can use it. But what makes me me is me. Well now, armed with that, you claim to be an MC. You claim to be of that art. Well, before you pick up the mic, there's one test you must go through. Do you have the courage to be you? You have the knowledge. You must be your true self, your real self to do this. But now that fatal test, do you have the courage to be you? You know what you look like. You know what you want to do. But do you have the courage to be you? Here's even deeper. To be the real me, I'm going to get arrested tonight. The real you has consequences. That's why nobody wants to be the real me. To be the real you, there's always a consequence to that. So everybody just says, nah, I don't want them to put the mask on. For me to be the real me, the real me, for me to be the real me, I'm going to have to leave her. For me to be the real me, I'm going to get kicked out of school. I'm going to be in the hospital. If somebody walked up to you and said, I see your future. You are going to be the greatest. But in about 2 years, you're going to get shot in the leg. You're going to have to take that shot to the leg. Now, I can give it to you now, or you can wait for the 3 years. But you got to take this shot to your leg, and then you'll be a star. Would you still want to be you? Would you still want to pursue your goal? You know, along this route, you're going to get shot in the leg once. And you walking around. If somebody said, you know, in order for you to overcome this injustice, you're going to have to spend 27 years of your life in prison. When you come out, you'll be the president. Would you march your way, right? All right, I'm going to... But this is what it is. This is hip-hop's first question. After you have knowledge of yourself, now you're trying to be jail. I may wind up in the hospital. Let me just keep this mask. Mr. Charlie, you hate your boss. You can't stand this job. You want to get away. Yes, Mr. Charlie, whatever you say. Do you have the courage to be you? Once you have the courage to be you, you have the attitude that hip-hop provides. You have it. This is why hip-hop has appeared to be so outlaw or criminal-minded. Because we're not afraid to be us. Unapologetic. No apologies. I look stupid, that's you. I look smart, that's you. I look that, whatever. I'm being me, though. That's it. I'm only me, and I'm going to only be this. I'm not going to front for you. This is what we forgot. Anybody up on MTV is front. This is why Orthodox hip-hop says, let them go ahead and play that game. Because that's not real right there. We know we've been there. We were fronting too. We were already there. We know the game. We'd already seen through it. You fronting. Go ahead. Get your money. Do you. But don't ever say that's real hip-hop. It's not. Never can. And you know it's not. So, but what is real hip-hop? The mastery of these elements. The mastery of yourself. Crazy Legs is a legend, not because of him, but because he mastered something. Whatever it is you have to do. To be hip-hop in it means to master it unapologetically. There's other kinds of mastery. But the mastery that is unapologetic is hip-hop. There's other forms of self-mastery, and, you know, people, I read some of the greatest books, man. I get them, you know, of like people, you know, at the Himalayan mountains, self-mastery. Rainforest, self-mastery. People out in the desert, gaining levels of self-mastery. Hip-hop, right next to the precinct in the pissy alleyway. Self-mastery. See, this is what makes our philosophy a bit unique in the world. Everyone else is coming off the mountaintop. And that's funny, I'm saying that like actually in Switzerland. That's actually them. Anyway, they're coming off the mountaintop, you know, Himalayan, you know, that meditative yogic position, coming out of India, China, this one, that one. This is why the world can't relate. This is one of the reasons why the world cannot relate to today's spirituality. Why? It doesn't relate. No one lives by a river. No one lives in the Himalayas. No one is waking up to birds and eagles, sweet smell of roses, or something else. We live in a literal playground. Your entire city is a human playground. All we doing is going around in a circle every day, day after day, just like this. Now the circle is safe. Stay in the circle, you good. Step outside that circle, and it's like falling off the edge of the earth. We used to be told when we were young, I don't know if you guys got this same stupidity, but I'll share my ignorance with you now. When I was young, like 6 years old, they used to teach us in the United States that Christopher Columbus discovered the entire United States region. And he did this as a brave man. Because everybody knew that the world was flat. And if you sailed to a certain part of the world, you'd fall off. This was taught for at least 50 to 60 years, and maybe even longer, in all public education in the United States, in my lifetime. Why am I bringing this up? This is a final piece. Bear with me on that one. This is a final piece that I want to leave you with. Maybe we can explore it more in Q&A. But why is it important to know hip-hop? This is a very important piece because it deals with your, well, some would say your psychology, some would say your spirituality, some would say your mental life. I'd like to go deeper into that, but let me say this. Do you have the courage to be you with no apology? If you can do that, it'll be easier to master the elements of hip-hop and go on to peace and prosperity. Because that's where the elements lead to. Peace and prosperity. That's what I have standing right in front of you right now. Many people can't tell you that. Like actually stand in front of somebody and say, yo, you're looking at somebody who is at peace. Content. Do I make the most money in the hip-hop industry? Of course not. Do I make the least? Of course not. But content. Happy to be who you are. Self-acceptance. This is hip-hop. If you look at the early attitudes, you know, Wild Style, Beat Street, Breaking, any of these movies, they've captured the attitude of, what's your name? Bob. What's your name? Super Bob Ski from the top of the key. Yeah. There was always a difference. One person is unsure of himself. The other person, unapologetic, talking loud, big, looking people in their eyes. That's hip-hop. This is the essence of it. When we were younger, we could only apply this attitude to art. That's why hip-hop is breaking. I'm seeing graffiti like a teacher. In the Bronx in the 70s, there was no outlet for young blacks and Puerto Ricans in particular to do anything. It was sports, movies, that's about it. I mean, or the Army, right? Sports, movies, Army. That was about it. Dr. Martin Luther King, 1968, just got assassinated. Malcolm X, 65, years before that, just got assassinated. Medgar Evers just got assassinated. John F. Kennedy just got assassinated. These are people going down in the United States. Some sort of civil war. We called it civil rights, but really it was a civil war. And here comes hip-hop out of that. Out of that. Out of all of that. So for us, it was really about walking with your head up and defying what is around you. Mel said, broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the station like you just don't care. I can't take the noise. Go get the record. Melly Mel, it's called The Message. He broke down in rhyme what we were living at the time. He broke it down right there. And when you realize that you can change your reality by simply telling a different story about it, the whole world opens up for you. And this is the beauty of hip-hop right here on a final note. Having the courage to be you means what? It means I am not moved by the outside world. The outside world is moved by me. Move the crowd. Move the crowd. Not crowd move me. I step on stage. Move me, y'all. No, it's you. Move the crowd. MC. You move the crowd. Move the walls. Move your life circumstances. How do you do that? By standing firm, unapologetically as to who you actually are. Who am I? I am this. What is this? This doesn't have a mother anymore. Who is this? This doesn't live in an 8-bedroom mansion anymore. This doesn't live in a 1-room shack. This doesn't drive that. But that's the only car I got to get the damn going. If I lose that, I'm going to lose my job and everything else. Do you have the courage to be you? If I don't get in this car, I'm going to lose my job. How am I going to pay for anything? But do you have the courage to really put yourself to the test? Go to the job. Mr. Charlie, I hate you. I think what you... Ah! You never know, Mr. Charlie may go, wow, no one ever broke it down to me like that. You're going to get a raise for that. I like you to tell everybody the same thing. That's what happens with hip-hop. When you are yourself, you'd be surprised what other people become. When you are yourself, other people become themselves. When you're real, the person in front of you has no choice but to be real. But as long as you faking, everybody faking. And we all just faking. We're just walking around fake. Everybody fake. Until the true hip-hopper steps up and says, you know what? I don't like this shit. Shit, you're on national television. I mean, fuck you. You're being you, right? So I close with that. Never be ashamed to be yourself. This is hip-hop. The elements you already know, breaking them, seeing. Once you have this piece that we explained today, mastery of the elements is easy. Easy. And why master them? They raise your self-worth, raise your humanity. And at that point you can say, I am hip-hop. Thanks for listening to me.